producer.
Tonight's story is not about something you can see clearly in the dark. It is about something that waits quietly. Something that does not rush, does not scream, does not run. 3 different police cases. 3 different cities. No connection on paper. But one small detail tied them together. Every incident began at exactly 2:17 a.m. And every witness heard the same thing before everything changed. It started with a 911 call on a freezing winter night. The dispatcher answered, expecting panic or shouting. Instead, there was only breathing on the other end. Slow, shaky breathing, like someone trying not to cry. The operator asked if anyone needed help. For several seconds, there was only silence. Then, faintly in the background, came 3 slow knocks. Not random. Not loud. Just controlled. Knock. 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 The dispatcher leaned forward, adjusting his headset. He asked if someone was in the house. A woman finally whispered 2 words. He knows. Her voice sounded distant, almost hollow. Before the operator could ask anything else, the call disconnected. No scream. No struggle. Just silence. Officers were immediately sent to the address. When police arrived, the house looked normal. No broken windows. No open doors. The porch light flickered once as they approached. One officer later said he felt watched before even stepping inside. The air felt heavy, almost thick. They knocked and announced themselves. No one answered. After getting clearance, they forced the door open and stepped inside. The temperature inside the house was colder than outside. Not winter cold, but empty cold. The living room was clean and untouched. No signs of struggle. No overturned furniture. But from deeper inside the house came a dragging sound. Slow. Intentional. Like wood being pulled across concrete. The officers froze, listening carefully. Then it stopped. They followed faint scuff marks across the kitchen floor. The marks led straight to the basement door. The door was slightly open, revealing complete darkness below. One officer called out loudly, identifying himself. No response came back. Only silence pressing against his ears. He turned on his flashlight and slowly descended the stairs. Each step creaked loudly in the quiet house. At the bottom of the basement, the flashlight beam swept across old shelves. Dusty boxes. Concrete walls. Then it stopped in the far corner. A wooden chair was bolted to the floor. Behind it were deep scratch marks carved into the wall. Long, uneven. Desperate. A rope hung from the ceiling beam above the chair. And it was gently swaying. There were no open windows. No air movement. Yet the rope continued to move slightly. The officer felt a cold wave pass through him. Upstairs, his partner shouted his name. In the master bedroom, they found a woman sitting upright on the bed. She wasn't tied up. She wasn't bleeding. She was just staring at the wall without blinking. When asked where her husband was, she responded slowly. He said the walls were breathing. Her voice sounded disconnected, almost empty. She explained that for weeks, her husband believed someone was inside the house. Not in the rooms. Inside the walls. Watching them. Listening. Waiting. The officers searched the entire house again. The husband was nowhere to be found. In the basement, one wall sounded hollow when tapped. After removing part of the paneling, they discovered a narrow crawl space. Inside were water bottles and food wrappers. Someone had been living inside the walls recently. But what truly disturbed the officers were the scratch marks inside that crawl space. The marks faced inward, as if someone had been trying to claw their way deeper into the darkness. The husband was declared missing. His body was never recovered. No suspect was identified. Officially, the case was treated as a mental breakdown. But several officers privately admitted something felt wrong. Something about the timing. Something about the knocking. 3 weeks later, in another county, a patrol unit discovered a car abandoned on a rural highway. The headlights were still on. The driver's door stood open. There were small blood stains on the seat. Not enough to suggest murder, but enough to raise questions. The owner had been reported missing the previous day. Search teams entered the nearby woods. About 200 meters in, they found drag marks in the dirt. The marks were inconsistent, like someone stumbling or being pulled. They followed the trail into a small clearing. There, under a makeshift plastic shelter, they found blankets and food containers. And a notebook. Every page of the notebook contained the same sentence. "They are standing behind me." Over and over again. Written in different pressure, sometimes tearing through the paper. Nearby, they found the missing man's phone. The last audio recording had been made just hours earlier. The officers hesitated before pressing play. At first, there was only wind. Then heavy breathing. The man whispered, "I can see their feet." His voice trembled. "They don't move when I look up." There was a long pause filled with silence. Then he said something that made the officers exchange glances. "They only move when I blink." The recording ended abruptly. The man was never found. Official reports suggested paranoia or psychological illness. But one officer later admitted he thought he saw someone standing between the trees during the search. A tall figure. Completely still. When he shined his flashlight directly at it, nothing was there. He never mentioned it in his official report. The third incident seemed harmless at first. An elderly woman repeatedly called police about noises from the apartment above her. She said furniture was being dragged every night at exactly 2:17 a.m. The problem was that the apartment above had been vacant for 6 months. No tenant. No furniture. No electricity usage. Officers agreed to check the apartment to calm her fears. The building manager unlocked the door. Dust covered every surface inside. The air smelled untouched. No footprints marked the floor. The officers slowly walked through each room. Everything appeared normal. Then, behind them, a bedroom door quietly clicked shut. There was no draft. No open window. They reopened the door immediately. Inside, fresh scrape marks cut across the dusty hardwood floor. Long lines stretching from one wall to the other. As if something heavy had just been dragged moments earlier. But the room was completely empty. Suddenly their radio filled with static. Beneath the static, both officers heard the same sound. 3 slow knocks. Not from the radio. Not from the hallway. From inside the wall beside them. Knock. 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 They stood frozen, staring at each other in silence. Official reports blamed building noises, structural settling, natural explanations. But the elderly woman later reported that the dragging sound had stopped above her ceiling. Now it came from inside her bedroom wall. Every night. At exactly 2:17 a.m. 3 slow knocks. Always the same pattern. 3 cities. 3 investigations. 3 identical details. No connection found between victims. No suspects. No clear explanation. But one retired dispatcher later revealed something unsettling. On the night of the first incident, there were 3 separate hang-up calls. From 3 different addresses. All at 2:17 a.m. Each call lasted 11 seconds. Each contained only breathing. And 3 knocks. So if you ever wake up in the middle of the night, and you hear 3 slow knocks from somewhere you cannot see, do not answer immediately. Do not assume it's outside your door. Because in these cases, it wasn't outside. It was already inside the walls.